My post was a $41,000 bill that I got after being in the hospital for 5 days when I was uninsured. And that's not even like a hospital that helped me. And I got a private DM from a Chinese netizen who was asking me if this was real. He thought I was like joking about the cost of everything. And he was just really, really shocked. And his shock confused me. This was like the first conversation I ever had about it. And when he sat there and then explained to me how Chinese healthcare is, it just blew my mind. And that's what started me on learning more about the Chinese healthcare, because it's so wildly different from over here. And he's not the only person that reached out to me about that. Somebody turned around and posted a photo of their bill for a nuclear magnetic resonance imaging. Here, I had a friend pay $15,000 out of pocket for that. Sitting there, is the hospital made of gold or silver? Is my favorite comment personally. I feel powerless after reading your experiences. Nothing like that is here in China. Hard to believe that an MRI scan here only costs a little over 500 won, with individual only needing to pay 54 won. An ambulance will cost less than $10, and they consider that expensive. An ambulance here is at minimum 800. Their government pays for these kinds of medical things. They don't put the weight of those bills on their citizens. It's something I wish we had, honestly. Whereas everything here is for profit. Even the nonprofit hospitals are for profit. That bill I posted was for a nonprofit hospital. Everything I've been told my entire life has just been propaganda and horrible about China. Learning how much they actually value their education, and that's why they push their children for better education, because that is a forefront of their societal expectations, is good education, is so mind-blowingly polar opposite to here, where we gatekeep education behind high funds. I would much prefer healthcare that's affordable for all, food available for everybody, homes available for everybody, homes being an affordable rate.
I took out $125,000 in loans to cover my master's degree. And people in China were commenting like, that's insane. And they were asking me like, how long will it take to pay that off? And so I said, I'm planning on a 20-year repayment plan. And that shocked them even more. But yeah, because a lot of people were telling me that a year's tuition for a master's degree can be paid off with maybe like 2 months' salary. And so if you work for about a year, maybe not even a year, you can just pay off an entire year's tuition, which really surprised me. And I got a lot of sympathy from the Chinese netizens. Getting a degree is really hard. I'm lucky because I live with my mom still. I would not have been able to get any of my degrees, I don't think, if I didn't have just my mom with me, because I know a lot of people in college are living by themselves and they have roommates and they can barely cover rent. And so they're just working nonstop. I know there were people in my cohort who had children and were, taking care of children while pursuing their master's degree, as well as working full-time jobs. Because you need that. The school will tell you, don't work full-time while you do this, but you need to work full-time in order to cover tuition. Because I'm pretty lucky in the fact that I did get loans to cover my tuition, and I never had to take out a private loan, which is pretty much a death sentence. I love these discussions because it's good to compare the welfare of people in any societies, right? And the welfare of people in America is generally pretty poor. Our country is quite segregated by income. You can live in one neighborhood and have it be completely poor, and the next neighborhood over is really wealthy. I grew up in a really poor area, and I'm the only person that I know of that has gone to college from that area, and everybody else has gone to jail, basically. It's good to have these discussions with someone from a country that we don't get much of a look into a lot of the time, because I feel like the only time that you hear about China on the news is, oh, it's scary, China is overtaking us in this and this and this. But the thing is that we're not doing good in America. So even if we excelled at these things that our politicians want us to excel at in the global economy, what's the use if ordinary people aren't doing well, you know? But just comparing quality of life is really interesting. There's a fascination there, I think, with a lot of the Chinese netizens that doesn't have any judgment in it. I think, I'm not feeling any judgment. It's just like curiosity. And I hope that we're sending that curiosity back to them without any judgment. You know what I mean? And I think that's one thing that's been so special. It's just like, hey, how is it over there? Well, it's like this. Oh, interesting. How is it over there? Well, it's like this. You know, there's just no judgment. It's just like an exchange of culture and ideas and just understanding. The US has been on top of the economy for so long that I feel like the US feels threatened by any other country having good economic development. And it's kind of sad. Because of that, we get all this propaganda that's just negative towards China. And we're told to fear China for some reason. And I'm not afraid of just nice people, you know, just going about their day-to-day lives, you know? And I don't think we need to rush to judgments about people based on what our countries are doing or how our economies are performing in comparison to each other.